Namaste, Jai Bharat. This WAKF was very ambitiously claiming all kinds of properties from all over Bharat. And the Congress that time, the Congress undoubtedly that time made this WAKF Act. Anyone producing a witness that somebody has et verbatim made a statement that I am donating this my property to WAKF board. And it happened long back. And the Congress has made this act. They had always been functioning in the interest of the Muslims, Congress. Let's be very explicit. They had always been functioning in the interest of the Muslims. They were instrumental in dividing this nation. Nonetheless, after independence, they continued ruling Bharat for a long period, and then continued appeasing Muslims and supporting them with all kinds of things. Not one instance, plenty, many such instances. You read the history, just look at and find out. There is Akbar the Great, but there's hardly Shivaji the Great. That's what they have done to history. How many know about Ahilya Bhai, Devi Ahilya Bhai Holkar? No, they were kept behind the curtain. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. So WAKF had this kind of laws, and many people became oriented. Of course, they know that nothing is going to materialize. But then, some people have this habit, very well knowing that nothing is going to work out, they still make hue and cry and make a show of things. Like the Pakistanis telling, we will capture Afghanistan. So let them try it. Let them try it. Like Pakistan saying that we will capture Afghanistan. They are nothing in front of us. Let's see who is what in front of anyone. Then similarly Bangladesh. Oh, they wanted to capture Bharat, large area of Bharat, with the help of Pakistan, with the silent help of China. They are sure they will catch all of the chicken neck corridor. This is similar to the Hamas kind of thing. Hamas will just say Israel will be vanishing from the face of earth. Israel won't exist in the map of globe. They were very sure of it. They like these statements. The WAKF board also is making. This is ours. But there's a parallel to WAKF. There are people very smart in the machinery of Bharat's government. There is an enemy property question and the enemy property act. It happens like this. You see, when partition takes place, even before and later also, the situation is created when partition takes out. There are two kinds of migrations. One, which is normal, supposed to be, people voluntarily go to another nation. And two, people are compelled to leave the nation. The voluntarily going from one nation to another nation happened in the case of the people migrating from Bharat to Pakistan, because they would have well stayed here. And the compelled exodus happened in Pakistan. From Bharat, a Muslim chooses to be in Pakistan, free will. From today's Pakistan, there is erstwhile Bharat, Punjab, Sindh, Baluchistan, and all those areas, which is today's Pakistan. The non-Muslims, simply non-Muslims, which would mean Hindus, which would mean Jains, which would mean Buddhists, which would mean the Sikhs, which would mean the Christians, and which would mean anyone who other than Muslim, had no choice. They had to leave. They were compelled to leave, forced to leave. And their good neighbors, who used to be a good Samaritan lifelong, suddenly changes and becomes a different man. For him, his religion is all important. For him, you are nothing. For him, nothing is important. Just you are non-Muslim, so you quit, you have to go. So those who came from Pakistan came under such compulsions out of helplessness. They reached Bharat, they had to flee. But those who went from Bharat to Pakistan went of choice. We have not. Others, non-Muslims living in Bharat, had not pushed the Muslims, never pushed the Muslims out from Bharat. This is a transparent thing, and this is a general principle that happened in history. But again, after independence, there happen to be areas where Muslims are somewhere in marginal majority. They have ousted non-Muslims from their areas to other places. Precisely this is what happened in Jammu and Kashmir. This happened, that's as late as in the 90s. The Hindus were ousted by sheer threat. You go, this is Kashmir. Kashmir, these idiots, what right do they have on Kashmir in the name of religion? They don't want to know. Kashmir is the place of Kashyap Maharshi. It's essentially a Hindu settlement, and you have come yesterday from somewhere, converted 5 people, and you want to own the land. This is what they do all over the world. Now Europe is facing the music. Europe is facing the music. That's interesting. So, similar thing happened. The Muslim majority, they push the Hindus out, and then very craftily, very cunningly occupied their properties. This happened in the 70s, many places, and then no question asked. But during partition, many have left their property, have gone, and then what happened? Somebody who is supposed to be in some kind of relation with this person, spurious relations mostly, says this is my chacha, mama, this and that thing, and then they occupied this property and they were custodians, they were enjoying. Now this is called enemy property, because when a citizen opts to go to another nation, which happened to be an enemy nation in practice. In practice, they made 3 wars against us. You have to call them as enemies. And they continuously work against the interests of Bharat and continuously even infiltrate. They infiltrate and they send the terrorists to our nation, and this kind of thing, is an explicit case. So it is an enemy property. Someone who stays in this land and says Zindabad for Pakistan should also be treated as an enemy. He stays here, he lives here, he enjoys everything of this nation, and then he belongs to the other person, other nation, Pakistan for instance. So he has to be treated as an enemy. This is a normal logic, very normal logic. So those who left their properties here, they opted for Pakistan. Then whatever they could carry, they must have carried, but the land remained. And then suddenly this land is owned by some other strange fellow who claims to have some relation to people. That's all. But this property has to be annexed by the nation. That's happening sometimes. Such spurious properties are called stamped or called as enemy property. The property belongs to the people who had migrated to enemy land, and then many people in many generations have transferred this property, still enjoy custody of it. So it takes a long time to determine whether it is really enemy property or not. And once it is determined enemy property, government of Bharat confiscates it and uses that money for some good in society. So if you come with WAKF, when you have fun with WAKF, saying the Taj Mahal belongs to us. Taj Mahal is originally a Hindu temple. You captured it and changed the shape. Otherwise, you think you had the technological ability to build such heavy construct on loose sands of Yamuna bank? No. Anyway, so this is our property. That's our property. The Parliament of Bharat is in Waqf land. And these kind of things one can say and enjoy himself, amuse himself. But counter to that, this is Enemy Property Act. Let's see what happens in time. Things should take place, because all these years, even prior to independence or after independence, this society, these people of Bharat and this Sanskriti of Bharat were taken for a ride by all kinds of people who absolutely had no quality to even pronounce the name of Bharat. So we'll meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.